I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart.
Donde?
Down in my heart.
I do the Spanish version.
Yeah, it's really good. Excellent.
Gozo,
Hey,
en mi
I
corazón.
really love your message about, helping us practice celebration. And I need to hear this. I'm terrible at it. I have a next thing that I want to go on. I'm not super into remembering all the bad things I did,
Right.
but I just have other things I'm going to celebrate later.
Yeah, I'll get
right
to it when I
now,
can get
we
to it.
don't have time for that. I really like that. Hey, I have some questions that I wrote, and I'm going to pull them up here. I really like how you portrayed Christians as kind of somber. How do we do this? How do we make being Christian and being Christ followers that actually really fun, celebratory thing? Because you're right, being serious is such a value, and being a little.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I probably should clarify that I don't think all Christians are somber. I think
We're not.
some of the most today, yesterday you were. But some of the most joy-filled people I know are the ones who get what we're talking about today. And they're people that understand this kingdom mindset, or this idea that we're supposed to mirror God's joy. And those, I just have names rattling through my head right now that are people that just live that. Our friend Jay Folk, who passed, was one of those people.
Yeah.
And it's there's a lot of times where we'd be talking on the phone and I'd be like, how are you so happy? There's so many things going on in your life that just seem like you should just be so sad right now. And he just had this joy about him, and this laughter, and this celebration. But the how-to is I think some of those things I laid out is just it's a commitment to it.
Absolutely.
It's how do you view life? Am I viewing it through the narrow path that only I can see, or am I viewing it from this resurrection kingdom mindset?
Well, we're looking at it through the lens of whatever a lot of news channels or newspapers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've looked in any newspapers lately. Don't is all. Because it's all it sucks the joy right out of you.
But there's tension there too, because there's things that we should be aware of,
right?
Culturally and globally. But how do we keep that as, I'm not going to allow this to consume me. I'm going to consume this content without allowing it to consume me. And I think oftentimes we're not aware of when it does. But when it starts to dictate our joy or lack thereof, that's an issue.
Yeah, I like your whole list of things that we can start doing. I don't like your list about getting rid of your screens for a week.
I know.
I think that's cruel and
that
unusual.
Was just for other people.
Oh, for other people.
Yeah, we're
That's
fine.
good. But I agree. My kids are so much more fun when they're not on their screens.
Isn't it wild?
And I wonder now, am I like that? If I were to just look away for a while, am I going to be funner?
Yes, you will.
Okay, I may need to do that.
But isn't that crazy that we can just ground, I wasn't joking. I love grounding Jericho. I'm like, yes, he does. He rarely.
Because it's good for all of us.
He rarely does something wrong, but when he does, I'm like, yes, no screens. We get to enjoy our son.
I love that. Hey, you mentioned how our culture really prioritizes success and results, and that becomes kind of a hinder to celebrating, because we're going to go for the next check mark. We're going to go for the next prize, or whatever. What are some strategies that you've used to try to make space?
I'd say I haven't figured this out yet.
Thanks for coming.
Great week. No, I'm trying to. I think some of the things that I'm doing, it's like that car ride with Jericho. When I see it in Jericho, I go, oh man, he's me. And he's missing out on the joy that he could be having. And even that moment, just this is a gift. So trying to be mindful about the gifts that God has given. This is a gift, right?
Yeah.
And we don't think, this is work.
Yeah.
But it's no, this is a
fun.
gift. We get to have conversation, and we get to talk about the God of the universe that is defined by love and joy. And I think that's the part that's really helped me. It's there's an author, I think his name's Leonard Sweet. He's written a ton of books, and he talks about sacramentalizing, if that's a word.
You just made it one?
Everything we touch. And it's everything's a sacrament, or every moment's a sacrament. And I think that's a it's just a really healthy way
That's
to
a very
go
sweet,
through life.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think this also helps, and this helps, and doing this together, doing this in community is important. Since there's things we haven't figured out how to really celebrate if all you're focused on is what's next. So I'm going to need you. I'm going to imagine that you need me so that we can really practice this spiritual practice of celebration. I'm so glad you were here. I hope to see you next time.